What we're going to do now is we're going to be solving exponential equations. These are going to be similar to what we did last time, except the problems are a little bit more difficult. So if you remember last time, our first step is getting the base number by itself. The base number is the one underneath the exponent. So since our exponent is 4x, our base number is going to be 2. So in order to get that by itself, what we're going to do is we're going to add the 5. So we have 4 times 2 to the 4x is equal to 20. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the 4. So in order to get rid of the 4, we're going to divide by 4. So what we have is 2 to the 4x is equal to 5. Now, if you remember from last time, once the base number is by itself, we need to get rid of the base number in order to solve for x. In order to get rid of it, what we're going to do is we're going to take the log of whatever that base number is. So we're going to do the log base 2. Now, if you remember from last time, what we're going to do is we're going to take the exponent, we're going to move it in the front, and that becomes 4x. This right here, whenever we have base numbers that are the same, it becomes 1. So 1 times 4x is 4x. So that right there is the mathematical way of us getting the variable by itself. Then on the other side of the equation, we're going to do the change of base formula. So we're going to do log of 5 divided by log of 2. And on our calculator, we take log of 5 divided by log of 2, and that gives us 2.32. But we're not done yet. What we have to do is we have to get the x by itself. So we're going to divide by 4. And so when we divide it by 4, what we end up with is 0.61. Now, looking at letter B, we're going to do the same process. Once again, these are more difficult equations. This time, if you're looking up at the exponent, notice that it's a little bit more complicated than just an x. Process is exactly the same. First thing that we want to do is we want to get the base number by itself. So in order to get the base number by itself, we're going to get rid of the 11. So we're going to subtract 11. And what we have is 1/2 to the 2x minus 1. And that's equal to negative 14. Now, when we're looking at this, notice that both of them are negatives. So we're going to multiply or divide by a negative, and that makes both of them positive. And now what we're able to do is get rid of the base number. So we're going to do the log of whatever the base number is. So in this case, we're going to do the log of base 1/2 of 1/2 to the 2x minus 1. And that's equal to log base 1/2 of 14. Once again, this becomes 1. So we're left with the 2x minus 1. And we use change of base formula, log of 14 divided by log of 1/2. We use our calculator. We take the log of 14. We divide it by the log of 1/2. And that gives us negative 3.81. Next step is we're going to add the 1. So we have 2x is equal to negative 2.81. And then what we're going to do is we're going to divide it by 2. So x is equal to negative 1.40. Now, I do want to mention one thing. The whole time when I'm calculating it with my calculator, even though I'm writing the estimate, I'm keeping the exact number on the calculator. And I'm adding the 1 and dividing by 2, and then I round it at the very end. So I am rounding it right here, but that's just so I don't have to write the whole number out. But at the very end is when I'm rounding it to 2 decimal places. So let's look at letter C. With letter C, the process is going to be the same. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding the 6 first. So we have 5 times 2, 3 minus 5x is equal to 125. Our next step is we divide it by 5 in order to get the base number by itself. So we have 2 to the 3 minus 5x is equal to 25. Then what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of our base number by doing the log of whatever that base number is. So we're going to do the log base 2. Once again, this becomes 1. So we're left with 3 minus 5x is equal to, change of base formula is log of 25 divided by log of 2. Log of 25 divided by log of 2 gives me 4.64. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract the 3. So notice that this is a positive 3, so I subtract it, and I get negative 5x is equal to 1.64. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide it by negative 5. So when I divide it by negative 5, I get x is equal to negative 0.33. Right there is my final answer.